All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for attending. And thank you, Christian, for a nice introduction. I'm going to be the presenter in today's webinar, and I will focus on ChemAxon calculator technology, which can be useful in the early phase drug discovery. I will have a number of objects that I would like to accomplish today. First, if you don't mind, I wish to cover briefly our products and their functions. From there, I would like to talk about drug discovery and development in general, and I would like to emphasize the importance of in silico property prediction. From there, I would like to drill down to demonstrate you some of our tools which enables you to predict different physicochemical properties. So let's get started with the product overview. The heart and soul of the ChemAxon technology is collected in the IT platform toolkit, what allows you to set up reliable databases using standardizer and the structure checker. You can also connect to local and remote databases and so forth. The Marcus technology is for intellectual property research, which the development of Marcus technology was in collaboration with the Thomson Reuters from the beginning. To provide an easy to use interface, we developed several desktop applications, namely Marvin, Instant Jaqen, and Jaqen for Excel. Marvin is a ChemAxon's drawing or chemical editor. You can draw, sketch, and visualize structures. Instant Jaqen is a database management tool, and Jaqen for Excel allows you to do chemistry in a Microsoft Excel environment. Another interesting toolkit is the Discovery Toolkit, which is very important in the early phase drug discovery. The calculator plugins will enable you to predict properties and analyze structures. Reactor, fragmenter, J-class and screen are there for library analysis, and metabolizer is for human metabolism prediction. Another essential tool is the naming technology, which is useful for name to structure, structure to name conversion, and it's also essential to extract structure and chemical information for documents. You can also combine these tools to each other and work within a workflow fashion using KNIME or pipeline load and so forth. Before covering the ChemAxon prediction technology, I would like to talk about drug discovery and development in general. So the new drugs are found in the discovery stage, and they enter into the clinical development. If they will be accepted or accepted by the Food and Drug Administration, then they will become drugs. My screen is frozen. So only those. So it's very important to filter out those compounds that we it's very important to filter out those compounds that that cannot be promoted to further development. For further development. So the early assessment of drug-like properties are very important. In the drug discovery phase. So the drug-like properties are integral part of the discovery, and they provide enhanced opportunities to increase the rate of success in the research and development. Basically, the structure is what determines the compound's properties. The structure interacts with the physical environment, the biochemical environment, the proteins, and at higher levels it interacts with the living cells. So that's how we get from the physico-chemical properties to the the toxicity and pharmacokinetic properties. And medicinal chemists would like to control the toxicity and the pharmacokinetic properties of the drugs, which can be done by structural modifications. How can ChemAxon help you within this work? Here you can see the list of calculator plugins which was developed by ChemAxon. These plugins are collected into 3 categories: physicochemical property predictors, molecular modeling predictors, and the structural property calculations. What I will not be able to do today to cover all of them. However, I will show you a few use cases and I will demonstrate how can you access those calculator plugins using different interfaces from us. First, before I jump to the live demo, I want to discover briefly what I will do in Instant Jaqen. So I will import structures from my local database, and I will use those structures as reactants to enumerate a library. I will use those products to calculate physicochemical properties and filter them and analyze them. Later on, I will show you additional structure analysis options, for example, 3D alignment or NMR prediction. So let's jump to Instant Jaqen. This is the interface of our powerful data management tool. On the left hand panel, you can see the data tree where you can store, review your data. Below this panel, you can see your queries and manage them. And more importantly, in the middle, there is the actual data table listed with chemical and non-chemical information. There are several Java-based properties integrated in Instant Jaqen, which will provide additional chemical functions. So what I would like to do today, first, I would like to enumerate a Friedel-Crafts reaction. What I can do in the chemistry menu, click on New Reaction. I'll find data tree for this reaction. Create. We select the preferred reaction. A predefined list of our available reactions are listed here, so I can just type and find my favorite. This is the generic scheme of the reaction. Basically, the reaction rule, the reaction rules are simulating the chemistry in reality. So I have to add the starting compounds to the reaction. And here I can add the second reactant here. And I also have to define the output library, which is going to be the Friedel-Crafts acceleration demo. I can run the reactor either in combinatorial or sequential mode. I'm going to choose the sequential mode, and I want to see the product in my data table. Then I can execute. Then I can execute the reaction, but I have gone ahead and I have already done so. So these are the products of Friedel-Crafts reaction, and these are the defined properties the Instant Jaqen calculate on the fly. Please notice that you can extend these columns, and usually they are used to calculate physicochemical properties. How can you do that? First, I will show you a few basic calculations. For example, I will calculate atom count. Just click Finish, and here we go. It's calculated right away. I can do the same from the Data menu. Click on the New Chemical Terms field and calculate another basic function, for example, ring count. It's done. I can also browse within our calculator plugins by clicking to Control Space, and the list of available plugins integrated into Instant Jaqen will pop up. What I would like to do, I will calculate, for example, the bioavailability, and because I would be interested in it. I also can modify these calculators, because I will be interested only those compounds whose molecular weight are less than 300. Click Finish, and it will show me which compounds are, it will show me those compounds which fulfill the bioavailability requirement. So these are the basic functions and calculations you can do in Instant Jaqen. Let's switch back to the slides. Another interface you can use to calculate physicochemical properties is Jaqen for Excel. Once you have Jaqen and Excel installed on your computer, it allows you to do chemistry on a spreadsheet. Basically, the functions are available as icons. I can simply draw structure, edit structure. I just double-click there. The default sketcher is Marvin, and I'm going to modify the structure. Just like that. I also can import files from database. Let's do it right now. So I'm gonna use an SDF file. Next, import, and here we go. So how can I do calculations? So as I mentioned, if you have Jaqen for Excel installed on your computer, you will have an Jaqen for Excel function extension here. Sorry. And all of the available calculator plugins are listed here. I will calculate, for example, logP. So I just scroll down. Here is the logP. I will select the molecule, and here we go. I can also copy-paste this function, and it will use the second structure to calculate the logP. If I just simply double-click here, it will populate the entire column. So let's see a more complex use case. I will import similar structures again. I will calculate the logP first, and then using our naming technology, just do it again. I'm gonna logP. This is the logP. Then we're gonna define input name using the same dialog box and our naming technology. Here we go. Naming of these structures. Great. Let's see what we can do with R group decomposition. So I have already sketched a substructure query. Click OK. Next, let it run. What it does, it figures out the Markov score and use this score to define the R groups to the scaffold structure. Then I want to make this table more compact, so I'm going to convert these R groups into smiles using by simply clicking the two smiles icon. I'm going to change the header to R1 and R2. And if I highlight the R groups and the calculated logP, and I simply go to Insert menu and the pivot table, what it does, it basically moves one column to a row to make this table more compact. I can also change the settings. For example, if I want to calculate the average, I can simply modify it within this panel. So I went ahead again and did some formatting to save some time. So here we go. Here you can see the scaffold, the R2 and R1 groups, and I use the conditional formatting option of Excel to color the Excel according to my data. So hope I was able to show you the basic Excel functions, and I also explained how to access the calculator plugins within Jaqen for Excel. Let's switch gears here, and let me show you an interesting homepage, the Chemicalize.org from ChemAxon, which is a free offering. I can just simply type chemical information, like for example aspirin, and if I go to a web page viewer, it will you're going to find the chemical information available on the web. I can also go to the properties viewer. It's going to calculate all of the properties that are available at ChemAxon, and basically I can do an entire structural analysis very quickly. But what I want to do right now, I have a PDF file, a paper I would like to analyze. So if as soon as it uploads the PDF, and I click to the document viewer, it will extract all of the chemical information from this paper and showing them in the top of the window. It's also showing how many times this structure has appeared in this document. If I click to the structure, it will show me where this structure occurred or appeared in the document. If I keep clicking, it will go to the next occurrence. But for now, I just want to download all of these structures, and we have a button for these download structures. I can save them as an SDF file. It's on my computer now. Next, I would like to process further the data or all of the structures I have extracted from this document. I will show you another interface to do that. KNIME is a workflow management framework developed by a Japanese company called Infocom. So now I'm going to import in the first part, I'm going to import the structures. Then they will undergo standardizer. If I open the configuration dialog, I can show you that I will do 3 actions on the uploaded structures. I will neutralize them, remove explicit hydrogen, and aromatize them. Next, I will determine names to those structures. I also would be interested in the logP values, and I will do a simple elemental analysis. I'm going to calculate the molecular weight of the structures imported into KNIME. I'm also interested in the distribution of the molecular weight against the logP. So I'm using Color Manager to enhance the visualization. If I go and view the scatter plot, I can customize it, and here we go. Here I can see the distribution. If I highlight the compounds I'm interested in, it highlight selected, and go to Marvin view, you will see that this scatter plot is synchronized with Marvin view, and the structures I just highlighted on the scatter plot are also highlighted in the Marvin view. The structures, then the structure will undergo further filtering using our KNIME raw filter node, because I want to filter out compounds, those compounds that molecular weight is less than 100 units. And finally, I will export the data onto my computer. So this was a very simple workflow, just to show you that you can access the calculator plugins using KNIME. And you can set up a lot more complex workflows as well. Let's see what additional structure analysis can I show during this webinar. As I mentioned earlier, Marvin is ChemAxon's structure editor. All of the calculations I just talked about are available from Marvin. So the elemental analysis, the protonation, so all of these calculations are available in the calculation menu. The logP, logD, isomers, or I can do 3D alignment, for example. Let's try this one first. I'm going to import a structure. And I'm going to import another one using our template library. Modify it and do a simple 3D alignment. So I go to calculations menu, conformation, 3D alignment, and here we go. Let's see another important analysis. It's going to be the NMR, and it's accessible from the same menu, calculations, NMR, and NMR predictor. This is my input molecule. I have an option. I can choose to switch on the implicit hydrogen mode or switch off. Here in the next panel, we can see the chemical shifts related to my input molecule. This is the preview of my structure, and this is the spectrum itself. I can change this unit of the spectrum. I can switch to Hertz, or I can switch back to ppm. I can also zoom in using my mouse or the icons up here, or simply just by manual interaction. So once I'm done, I use the automatic integration, and I would like to export the PDF. Here we go. I have the NMR report as a PDF file containing all of the important information. Let me say a few words about, so this was Marvin view and the NMR prediction. Let me say a few words about Jaqen for SharePoint. SharePoint is developed by Microsoft, and it is a web-based platform for data sharing. With our Jaqen for Excel extension, you are able to do the chemical data analysis, property prediction. You can filter, sort data using SharePoint, and more importantly, you can share those chemical or non-chemical information with your colleagues on the web. Once again, I would like to highlight all of the interfaces I just covered, and which can be used to access our calculator plugin for structure analysis. So this is the Marvin sketch, the Jaqen for Excel, Instant Jaqen, KNIME as a workflow management tool, and Chemicalize.org, which is a free webpage from ChemAxon. I would like to point your attention to our technical support forum, where you can post your question anytime. I also would like to highlight or emphasize that we are working on solubility and additional ADME predictors, and we would appreciate your help. So please don't hesitate to contact us at calculators-support@chemaxon.com. And I would like to thank your attention, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you very much, Anna, for this nice presentation. I think we all learned a lot about calculator predictors and how they can be used throughout the desktop applications of us. So are there any questions from the audience?